Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talks Tasha, and I have an amazing guest here, Nela. She's joined us on Talks Tasha, guys, and she's got a powerful testimony that she wants to share. Before I start, though, this has been a battle to get this testimony out. So the enemy don't want anybody to hear this, but it's going to be heard today. So Nela, welcome to Talks Tasha. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Good to be here. Thank you.
Yes, and you're up here to share your testimony, aren't you, of what God has done. So would you like to introduce yourself of where you come from, what you're all about?
Oh, sure. Okay, my name is Nela. I'm originally from New York City, born and raised. I was actually raised as a Christian, kind of off and on with different family members. And then I went to college and I married a Muslim and went off to the Middle East and lived there for about 15 years. Memorized quite a bit of Quran, studied Islamic law, really enjoyed the adventure of the study and the culture. But then I reached a point where I was really spiritually hungry and I was unsatisfied.
Did you meet your husband? Where did it all begin in this, your relationship?
Oh, actually, we met in Germany. My dad was in the military and he was stationed in Italy. I was going to school in Munich, Germany. And my first husband was in the army. So he was stationed there as well. That's how we met up.
You going to the Middle East, I bet that was a culture shock going from sort of a Western sort of way of living to the Middle East. I mean, did you have to wear the hijabs? And so you wore that, yeah?
Oh, I wore a full veil actually while I was still in the United States.
Wow. When did you wear the ones with like the slit in
I
the
did.
eyes? Oh, so right, okay. And I'm going to ask another question. When you're wearing it, how does it feel wearing it? Not in the fact that the material, but how does it feel as a woman wearing it? Like you're totally covered, you're totally hidden. Do you sort of feel small inside? How does it make you feel as a woman to wear it?
That's a really good question because it differs from being in the West as opposed to being in the East. Because when you're wearing hijab in the East, like where I was in Saudi Arabia, women had their own kind of world behind the veil. So it was very different. But living in the US, your hijab is your clothing. And so it did feel a bit suppressed, especially the community I was a part of. They wanted us to wear all black, fully covered, nothing sparkly, no jewelry, no nail polish, no. So you did feel a bit like your beauty was suppressed. I was a part of a community in Philadelphia, and we literally had our own economy. Everybody had a little business. I had my own business at home. I taught Arabic, and I had bunches of women coming to my house for classes, and other women had, like, they were hairstylists or they sold clothing, or so we kind of had our own economy, and we did support each other. There was always issues with marriage and our relationships with the men, and particularly with polygamy. That was a hot topic.
So did your husband have other wives? It's in
I was for 5 years, yes.
Okay, how many was there at the time?
Okay, as far as I know.
Okay. As far as you know.
I mean, I'm laughing about it now, but wasn't funny then.
No.
So there were two that like I said, that I know about.
I just find that so hard as a woman, like, to know that your husband desires other women and he brings them into the sort of, but I suppose in the culture that is just normal. So was you okay with that, or you can't speak up against it? Can you say no, we're not having that?
That's a good question, because on one hand, like women accept it, yes, as a part of the culture, as a part of the religion, and even accepting, men's desires, that they're different from us. But it's never normal. Like it never gets to a point of feeling normal. And so every time the women get together, somehow that topic is going to come up, and it's just going to become like something upsetting.
Yeah, because it goes against the natural order, doesn't it, of to become one, not five, six, seven, eight. So yeah, it goes against that.
Well, I was married twice. So the first marriage, no, we did not have children. My second marriage, yes, we had two daughters. And I was in the Middle East for a total of 15 years between three countries. So the last country I lived in was Qatar for 7 years, and we raised our two daughters there for a large part of their childhood, and it was good. It was good for a while. Like I said, until my soul started stirring, and I needed more spiritual care and enlightenment and knowledge and understanding than what Islam. I kind of reached my I guess my peak in what I could do in Islam spiritually.
What was the things you were questioning spiritually?
The concept of God, that like he's so mean, God is so cruel. Like, why am I always in fear of punishment? The Quran is really I was telling some of my Christian friends, you don't understand like how vivid the descriptions of hellfire, that you're going to burn, your skin is going to burn, then you're going to grow another skin, it's going to burn off again, you're going to drink pus and eat thorns. And um I couldn't live with the fear anymore. And I was getting older. I was getting close to 50. And my biggest fear was that my menstruation stops, then I have to pray every prayer, because it's 5 times a day, but women get a break for a week, when they're menstruating. And so I was afraid, okay, I'm not going to be able to do it all, and I'm going to be punished, and so forth. And it was just something that became very tormenting to live with. In my experience, like I said, I lived in different places and stuff. I would say vast majority of Muslims that I've ever known in 30 years are non-violent, non-aggressive people. They do want to live in peace. They want the same things that everybody else wants. They want to marry and have kids and education and healthcare, and, be able to open a business and live in a nice home. Like most people want that. And most people want to live in peace. The problem is, like, you'll get this small percentage of people who do want the dominance and who do want to be aggressive, and somehow their voices get to be the loudest. And I don't know how that happens. Like, for example, in in New York, this past Ramadan, there was like this huge gathering in Times Square in New York, which is a major public area. And so they're praying, and the vast majority of people there, they want people to share in Ramadan. They want people to know. They want to invite people to eat and break fast. And, fasting is something sacred. It is the most peaceful thing you can do, is to pray and fast. And then this guy gets on the microphone and he's like, yeah, we're taking over. Now repeat after me. I'm like, where did this guy come from? Was he one of the organizers, or did he somehow get the mic? Because that's not how most Muslims think. That minority who has the voice, they also have evidence from the religion for what they say. And so that's what makes them dangerous, is because when Muslims read the Quran, it's different from a Christian reading the Bible. A Christian reading the Bible, they know if they read about, let's say, a battle, they know that this is something that happened a long time ago. It's not for our context now. A Christian knows that. Muslims are taught that the Quran is for all time. That's the premise that they're reading it with. So someone who wants to propagate aggression and violence, they can find proof for it, clear proof in the Quran, and their interpretation is this is for all time. And so they can take that, sorry about that ringing, they can take that and they can convince young people. When I was in my 20s, we were the group of young Muslims that I was with, we really wanted guidance, and we were obedient to our leaders. It just happened. I wasn't a part of the violent, and it was more non-political, but it was still very fundamentalist because we were like totally separate from the world. We were separate from other Muslim groups. There was some extremism in it, even though there was no violence. So it just really, like I said, it can be very dangerous when you have people who are teaching this to young people.
How did Jesus meet you? How did you call upon his name? How did he step into your life?
Oh, well, I walked into a recreation center on a Sunday. I was going to the fitness center, so I thought, and the fitness center was closed, and I heard a church service down the hall, and I walked down the hall and it was a church service. And I said, okay, let me check this out. Because again, I grew up in church off and on as a kid. So I was already aware of, and I had never really studied the Bible per se, but I had been to church. So it kind of pulled me in, and I met the people, and it just grew from there. Once I started reading the Bible, and I went also through a discipleship course, which was amazing. That was almost like therapy itself. Just developing like the mind of Christ. And this is some of the stuff that I try to impress upon my Muslim friends. I have a page, my Facebook page, the Trauma Healing Guide. And this is what I try to impress upon my Muslim friends, that it's not just about, worshiping Jesus. That's not. No, we have the power of resurrection. We have been given authority in this earth. The disciples asked Jesus, what is this power that you've given us that we can stomp out serpents and scorpions, that demons flee? This is like what I'm learning now. It's really exciting, is learning about this power that I have. And so learning just to speak words is a part of it. To speak healing words, to speak words of declaration, that you're just not there praying to God and begging, but that God has put power in me. And so it's just been very exciting, actually, to share this on my page. And I know that there's lots of Muslims that are listening, but they're not letting me know they're listening, and that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm going to keep, as long as the algorithms are telling me that people are listening, I'm going to keep talking. Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to say? If there's, to say, a Muslim, a woman or man watching, and they're just struggling in their faith, and they think, I'm doing all this, I'm praying 5 times a day, I'm doing my rituals, but nothing is working. Is there anything you would like to say to that person who would just randomly stumble on this? What would you speak to them?
You know what? What changed me forever was reading the book of John from chapter 1 to chapter, I think, 15. Walking with Christ. Literally, when you read that book, the book of John in the New Testament, you're literally walking with Jesus. And it was just so beautiful. And it taught me so many things about all three religions, about Islam, about Judaism as well, in the way that he spoke to the rabbis and their customs, and how he told them that, you know all these laws, because that's how I was. I was like one of the Pharisees. And I recognized myself when I was reading the book of John. And it's like, whoa, I knew all these laws, but my heart was like a rock, and so just walking with Christ, like, it's almost like you can see him, and you're going to these places with him, and you're learning his nature and how he recruits the disciples, and how he speaks to them, and the miracles, and it's like, for a Muslim, you've seen like little bits and pieces of it in the Quran, but the book of John, it really brings out who Jesus was, and you just grow to love him.
So I'm going to give you some fire quick round questions on Talks Tasha, and I do this in my videos with people. Yes, I do. So what is your favorite food?
Lasagna.
Oh, that's mine too. I love lasagna. Your favorite Bible verse? Have you got one?
Be still and know that I am God.
Amen. Right. Beach or city break that you've had? Where have you been? Beach. Okay. One person you would love to have dinner with, living or from history?
Muhammad Ali.
Wow. Okay. And the last one, this is the ultimate question. So you're stuck on a desert island and you can take one thing with you. What are you taking and why? One thing you can take with you. And why would you take it on a desert island?
It couldn't be my phone, right?
No mobile phones. I don't think you'd get signal anyway out there. It's a desert island.
Okay. Probably my running shoes. Easy. My running shoes.
Oh, why?
Why? Because I can just, when I run, when I jog, I feel powerful. So if I can feel my power, my personal power, because God said He hasn't given us the spirit of fear. He's given us the spirit of power and a sound mind. So my running shoes would make me feel powerful.
So you'd be running around that desert island then. Lovely. I love that. That is a picture to be seen. Goodness me. Do you know what? I've really enjoyed this. And guys, please go and check her out, Nela. And it's been a pleasure for you to be on Talks Tasha, sharing your testimony. But it's not also that, it's also to lead people to Jesus and highlight him out, because everyone needs Jesus. That's what we need. And so thank you so much for coming on. And
thank you.
God bless you. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.